Oh, that's perfect.
Just lean into the mic a little bit. Alright, so let me do an audio check first, just to make sure that it's picking us both up efficiently.
Hopefully it is.
Hear that moss, peoples. See, it pops up.
How do you know?
This my Stream Elements thing is going. Oh, the mic's not working.
It's not? Are you serious?
No, don't do that.
I didn't do that.
Testing, lights.
How was it working before? Cancel.
Oh, I don't have the mic here.
Oh, hey. Did you take it off?
Alright, now it should be.
Well, hopefully now. Did I tap it, this microphone again?
No. Oh.
You're falling over.
Yeah. Still not working.
How was it working before?
Yeah, it's working. First, oh man, this is chair again. Falling over. No peeking.
I said no peeking.
Alright. What's up, people? I'm Josh.
I'm Brian.
And this is been a while coming. We started
and quit.
Yeah, we started and quit multiple times, but we're here, we're good. And just want to double check and make sure
it works before we have to say no peeking again.
Yeah, we're good. We're golden. We can go now.
All right.
Yeah, we've done this podcast before. First time on video.
It is the first time on video.
Don't go looking on Spotify for the OG episodes.
Well, if you didn't want that to happen, I wouldn't have mentioned Spotify.
They don't know the name of it.
That's a fair point.
But yeah, we're just two dudes that love video games.
I thought we were straying away from that. Sorry. Go ahead.
You done?
For now.
Yeah, we're just two dudes that love video games. Clearly, this is our favorite franchise that we share, that we both like.
Well, we love a lot of them.
Well, we love a lot, but this
is the only merch we have.
Yeah, so this was a last minute impromptu. Hey, we're doing a podcast, so this is what you get. We're balling on a budget over here.
Very, very tight budget.
Yes. But anyway, so we both really enjoy video games, and we already have like tons of conversations off the podcast, and
tons of good conversations.
And we're just like,
why
we're
not?
We're having all these good conversations. Why don't we just record it? I mean, it's not like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen besides
she rejects me again?
The mic not working. Yeah, so like I said, we both love video games. We've been playing them since I was like 3.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but I mean, I know about me. I don't know how you asked me. I know when I started, and I was roughly around 4 or 5. Had the first. Actually, yeah. So weird order that I came in playing games, right?
Yeah.
You know, around 4 or 5, started on the PlayStation, playing Crash and all that good stuff. And then when I moved to Florida and I was about 8 or 9, oh no, I'm wrong. I don't know my own life. Just right.
No, who's there?
No, so I don't know. You remember the what was that? What system did Doom get released for?
PS1.
No, the original Doom. Like
PS1. Well, it came out on Super Nintendo.
That's what I played because I remember playing Super Mario.
Yeah, I was curious.
That's what I started with, and I remember. And the reason why I remember this so clearly is because I remember Creed playing in the
the background.
Yeah, the background, right?
Yeah.
Can you take me higher? Dude, etched into my memory. Playing Doom, actually. You know, I have to attribute Doom and Mario are the first games I ever played.
See, my first game, I remember vividly playing Super Mario World. That was my first. I think it was like one of, if not the first video game I ever played. Besides, the random, like, the generation we grew up in, we had those random educational PC games.
Tonka, man.
That wasn't educational.
It was for me.
And it shows.
That's just hurtful.
But I started with the Super Nintendo, and I know my dad had a Sega Genesis for a hot minute, but I don't have a lot of memories. Like, I think it broke shortly after, like, I was, like, started actually playing games.
Yeah.
But then Super Nintendo, Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart. I wasn't allowed to play Doom. But my dad let me play it here and there when I did get a PS1. And I don't know why, but I have a lot of memories of us playing Wheel of Fortune when I was growing up too on the PS1.
The games. I'm trying to think of like the game other than those, when I was a little bit older that I was played that I loved. But other than like Crash and Spyro.
Oh, I thought of one. You ever play Hot Wheels Turbo Racing on the PS1? You would remember it because...
No, I played so the one I remember from like PlayStation, which was a racing game, was like an RC... you controlled an RC car.
I think I know which one. I don't think I played that, but I think I know which one you're talking about. But
it was like in a demo.
Oh, one of the demo discs?
Yeah.
Yeah, PlayStation Underground.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. It was one of those.
But I remember Hot Wheels Turbo Racing because it had like a cutscene when the game booted up, and the background song was Fuel by Metallica. Oh. But at the time, I didn't know what Metallica was, and it didn't hit me until like I think when I first started like emulating games. Yeah. And I booted it up, and I was like, that's like Fuel by Metallica, and then I was like, that is Fuel by Metallica.
Oh man.
But yeah, with that, and then I know we both have a lot to talk about with the PS2 because the PS2 was our childhood.
I'm pretty sure it's still the greatest selling of all.
It is. It's still the number one selling.
I mean, I know it's definitely better than the PS5.
Yeah, that's also. But well, you know this why the PS2 sold so well.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Because it was the cheapest DVD player at the time.
Oh, yeah. It did play DVDs, didn't it?
Those typing games, though. Oh, my God. The only time I played those typing games was when I was in middle school.
Oh, shoot. What was the one? It's like where you're traveling across the Midwest. No, Midwest.
Oregon Trail?
Yeah. That was a typing game, wasn't it?
No. That was a survival game.
Typing survival?
No, I think they did have a typing.
I think it did. Yeah.
On that.
Man, those times were so fun, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could go back and play all the games that I grew up playing for the first time. Like we were talking about the other day, how we would, when you buy a game, you open it up, take off.
You had like a 30-minute ride between the store and home. And what else were you going to? You got a brand new game in your hand. You sit there and spend 5 minutes because you're a little kid, you ain't got no fingernails. You're sitting there trying to get the slightest little piece of plastic off. But once you get that little piece off and it all starts coming off, you're like, finally! And
wait, you use your fingers? I just drag my tooth across it. I literally would just take my canine and go.
I didn't think. I was too busy sticking nerds up my nose for candy.
No, I definitely didn't do that one.
But no, I remember, like, I vividly remember when I got Kingdom Hearts. I remember I was at Best Buy. I had $20. I was looking through the video game section, and how at Best Buy used to have those little cardboard stands in the middle of the video game aisles for the PlayStation Greatest Hits. It's just like a little or a little cardboard tower, and it said like PlayStation Greatest Hits or whatever, or 20 and under.
No, so I always went to Walmart, Wally World.
Oh, remind me about Walmart in a minute.
He's like,
they pissed me off when I was a kid. But anyways, so I was at Best Buy with my parents, and I was looking down the video game, the PS2 section, looking and looking and looking. Nothing was really piquing my interest, and then my mom's just like, "Hey Josh, what's this?" I'm like, "What is it?" She's like, "It's Kingdom Hearts." I'm like, "Mickey Mouse is on it." I'm like, "What?" I looked at it and I saw that, and I wasn't huge into Final Fantasy, but me and my dad had played through Final Fantasy VIII, and I knew Square Enix.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, I'm like, Final Fantasy and Disney characters? What? And then so I was like, I could tell my parents were getting like, they were like, come on, let's
wrap
this
go.
up. Like,
we want to go home. Even though they would take
we
forever to be there.
We didn't go home immediately. So
Isn't that how I was always after? Let's go. We gotta go, and then we grab like 5 things and then nothing else.
So we went to my grandparents' house, and so just a little tangent for a second. So when I got a PS2 for Christmas, my grandfather got one too, and he liked the Medal of Honor games. I never really saw him as like a guy that played.
Was he in a war?
No, he was in the Air Force.
No.
I
know you just didn't say that.
No, I mean,
was he in a war? No, he was in the Air Force. That's a genius thing to say.
No, he was in the Air Force, but he didn't actually go overseas, I don't believe. But anyway.
Okay, well, the reason why I was asking, because a lot of older generations, if they played video games now, they like the war games because, one, they get to take it out on the Nazis.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, so we went to my grandparents' house, and my grandpa had a PS2, and they were talking, and I'm like, oh, can I go upstairs for a little bit, because that's where they had the PS2.
Yeah.
Went up there, turned the PS2 on, put the game in, got through like. I don't even think I got to choose between the which power I wanted to have and which power I wanted gone, like between the strength, the armor, and the magic.
Yeah, I always chose strength.
Yeah, I did too. Apparently, there's like a whole.
No, the strength, shield, and magic.
Yeah.
Like the magic staff.
Yeah. But I didn't even get past that. Then they're like, "Gosh, we're leaving." I was like, "Okay." Which I don't think we left until like 8:30, 9 o'clock that night. So we didn't get home until like 9:30, 9:45.
Time to go to bed.
I stayed. No, I think.
Oh, was it a weekend? Like a Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday?
It's either. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Saturday.
Oh, I miss waking up on those days and just right to a video game.
Yep.
And then wait for mom to get up, breakfast, boom, back to games.
But yeah, got home. I think I stayed up until like 12 o'clock, which I don't remember how old I was. I just remember that moment of getting that game.
Yeah.
And how that game like kind of like shaped me as a gamer, because like Kingdom Hearts is the only RPG I actually thoroughly enjoy. Like, no offense, people, I've tried Fallout, couldn't get into it. Tried Elder Scrolls, couldn't get into it. But Kingdom Hearts, for some reason, just I guess it's probably because of the Disney and just the atmosphere. That was also a time when games like went out on limbs and took chances and took risks.
Actually gave you complete games.
Yeah, gave you complete games. Wasn't a DLC for Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. That is 3 different story. We're not going to talk about.
Did they have?
Yeah, they had the Remind thing where you could play through like.
So we could play basically
characters.
Yeah. That's. Yeah, the DLC was where you could face that dude that you seen in the game that they the Toy Story one where they compared that Sora. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's the DLC, wasn't it? Where you could face him.
Yeah, because you faced him in the main game of 3.
No, you don't.
You do.
100% of the game.
Pretty sure you do. Yeah, no, you're right, because that's where you have those little, like, towards the end of the game, you have that little crystal, whatever you go up to, and it transports you to a different area.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think you had to do all the arenas to get to that. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it had a DLC then.
Yeah, Remind. It was a $20 DLC.
Well, I definitely didn't pay $20 for that. Now, and the soundtrack.
Kingdom Hearts will always be a banger soundtrack. And you imagine if someone made like Simple and Clean as a country song.
Oh God, that'd be horrible.
That's like the only genre I haven't heard it. I've heard it in metal. I've heard it in
rock,
electronic. I've heard it in rock, metal, rock.
2 different things.
I've heard it in like a trap style beat.
Yeah.
And it just works.
I just don't. Country is too folky for that. The beat to it.
I was thinking of like the lyrics more than because you can It's like kind of how like Falling in Reverse did with that Papa Roach song.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
reimagining.
yeah.
I feel like if they reimagined it, they could tune it into a country song.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, just looking back though, getting back on track. I mean, looking at overall the games we played. I mean, Crash, hands down. I think that's. I'm trying to think of the word. Is like noted to being like what started more 3D platforming games though, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
because I believe.
No, I'm lied. I think that was Doom that started more 3D platforming games. Wasn't it Doom?
No, it was Mario 64.
Was it Mario 64?
Yeah, Mario 64 was what started the 3D platformer era, and then Crash was the first one to really explore it.
And then Jack and Dexter took it to the whole new level of a 3D kind of open world.
I think it's kind of a toss-up. I mean, either way you slice it, it was Sony, Nintendo, Sony, Nintendo, Sony, Nintendo.
Yeah. Xbox didn't come around until later.
I think
Dude.
2003? 2001 or 2003. It came out about the same time that the PS2 and the GameCube did. Which I still want to get hold of a GameCube just because of the modding capability.
Oh, speaking of GameCube, dude, do you remember that Tarzan game on GameCube? What about the not just that one? What about the Pokemon one where you like rode around? No, where you took pictures.
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sucked at that game. I didn't know what they were.
They actually made a newer version for the Switch.
Oh, damn, I can play that.
I think it's also called Pokemon Snap. But
no, you're thinking of Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap is what it's called. Pokemon Go is this whole own thing that we kind of played for a hot minute and then just completely nosedived off of it.
I really got to mention this because now it's popped in my head and it's my ADHD brain and it's really bothering me. So we need to talk about how Crash is getting remasters and got the new game. Same thing with Ratchet and Clank still going.
Yeah.
Spyro's got the reignited.
With
I knew you knew I was going to go with it because I talk about it all the time. But no, how come Jack and Dexter and Sly Cooper just basically nothing?
It's like I was telling you the other day.
But I don't get why they're going to remaster everything else, basically. Other than technically they haven't remastered the first 3 Ratchet and Clank games.
No, they did HD.
Yeah, but that was what but they basically just ported it for the PS4.
The PS3.
Was it the PS3?
Yeah, because they had.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. And now all I can do is just try to stream it on the PS or PlayStation Network or whatever. PlayStation Plus. Yeah, you can't download it. You have to stream it, and that streaming service is horrid.
So I know we're not going to get super technical, but that was because of the Jaguar core that's in the PS3. It was such a pain in the butt to work with. That's why they didn't have PS3 backwards compatibility with the PS4. Was because that's why a lot of the games looked and ran better on the 360 was because developers. Also, too, the 360 also had a year earlier or a year more development time or developers had one more year because it came out a year before PS3. So by the time the PS3 came out, they developers were kind of already starting to figure out the architecture and how to develop the games for it.
True.
The PS3, it was just the PS3 is the PS3. That's why a lot of people. It's also hard to not hard, but there's a lot of games even in emulating it on PC that they don't run properly because it's so hard to mirror the chipset that's in the PS3.
Okay.
But in the PS3, a lot of people notice, but the HD trilogy bundles like Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, those are starting to go up in price.
If only that meant one thing.
But the only thing that bothers me too about the Jak and Daxter thing is that they remastered it for PS3, and then
they did.
Yeah, they remastered for PS3, and then
the first 3 games.
Yeah, they remastered for the PS3, then the PS4, and the PS Vita. But Well,
believe I missed that.
I tried playing Jack 2 and 3 on the PS4, the remasters, which were ports from the...
It's just the same game.
Yeah, pretty much. They just resold it to you. But it's... I believe it crashed on me several times, and when it didn't crash, it was a little buggy. Like, it would lose... That dude came back. Yeah, we did. We decided to start the podcast tonight.
We're having a super fun time.
Trademark.
Had to do it. Worth it.
But yeah, it just doesn't run well on the PS4. And from what I've heard, and what I've seen, the PS Vita and the PS3 versions don't really run all that great either.
Told you he'd love it. No, but like the whole thing, like when you think of like our childhood, like the games we bond over,
yeah.
Like between, I don't think we ever really bonded over Crash.
Yeah,
I think it. Now I know we bonded over the new one that they did.
Yeah, that's Seven Beaten.
It's too difficult for me. I don't like that it's difficult.
Have you can play 2?
Which one?
Wrath of Cortex? Yeah, no, Wrath of Cortex.
No,
Cortex Strikes Back.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought that.
It's Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, and then Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Warped's my favorite.
Yeah, I like.
I remember that one so well.
But 2, like I've gotten to the 3rd floor of Cortex Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I get stuck on the B levels. Like they took the maps they took the levels that had the boulder chasing you, and they flipped it to where you're going
away from it.
No, it's not. It's the same like level environment.
So it's the same level design, but different like obstacle.
Instead of it being like a rock coming towards you, you have bees' nests that are spread out. And the thing is that if you don't have Umsaga, you don't have him, then they're one hit kill. They touch you, you're dead. Well, it's in the case. Oh, okay. Hey,
pretty
what
cool.
up, Wahoo? Just in time, all the peoples are coming back.
Woohoo! Slowly. No, so I remember the first Jak and Daxter, the precursor Legacy. I remember I got so good at the game even as a kid, right? I still remember where everything is, and I can beat that game within about 2.5 hours solid.
Y'all, pin this segment right here because we're gonna test that at some point.
We don't have to. We're just gonna go with that. So definitely 2.5 hours and some change. Lots of change possibly. But no, I used to be really good at the game though.
Yeah.
I hated the jumping. Irritated me.
Yeah, the jumping.
But the easiest way to get past a lot of things was either doing like the roll and then jump, or as you're falling off the edge of something, you do the punch and jump, the combo that gets you to a higher position. Yeah. No, overall, I just loved the game. I didn't like the ending of it though. Even as a kid,
the ending was like sudden. Like we knew it was coming, but at the same time, it just felt like it was like, okay, here like the rest of the story was well paced out, and then the last chunk was like, not cutscene, but black screen done.
But what I'm saying, I mean, like, did you ever fully complete the entire game? Like, collect everything?
Oh, no.
Okay, so if you collected everything, there was another like a kind of a secret ending where that door where you go back up to where Samos the Green is.
Yeah.
Where you go back up there, and her name was Kira, wasn't it?
Like that.
I can't remember.
I think it was Kira.
I'm pretty sure it was, but you went back up there, and then y'all turn around, and like this big, giant, like precursor door opens up, and it like bright light, and then cuts out. So I don't know how they went from that to Jak 2.
Yeah, it went from
ending
that
like
to
that.
literally Jak being tortured by the Baron, Dark Eco, and Daxter like being in hiding but trying to find Jak in the future.
Speaking of Jak 2, you know what really bothers me? It's always felt like a plot hole, right? Tell me how Jak didn't realize that was young Jak.
I didn't.
No, but you get what I'm saying. Do you think he would recognize himself?
Oh, spoiler alert, 20-year-old game.
I was not a spoiler at this point. Whoops. But you know what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that, like, they use that parent instinct, like, intuition. Like, let's say a parent hasn't seen their kid for a long time, right?
Yeah.
They see him again, like, forever, like, they lost him. They see him again, they can pick up that's their kid.
Yeah, look at the plot. /
Don't you ruin anything.
Yeah, I haven't even played the first one.
I have. I loved it. I cried. Has very sad moments in there. Oh, speaking of sad moments, if you played that and you know some of the characters that died, in Rebirth, you end up going to this place called the Golden Saucer, and then it shows that character that died in the remake, and it is super sad.
Hasn't played Rebirth.
You got whenever you can get your chance to get it and play it. It's well worth it. Actually, seems a little bit harder too for some reason. Yeah, so like ether is really hard to find in that game. Now maybe I'm just farming it wrong. Farming in that good. No, if I think I'm farming it wrong. Like I know you can get it from the Moogles.
Not available preset. Exclusivity dicks. Here's to the console war.
We win.
Yeah, the Wii did really good.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Way to go. No, but I think could have swore, were y'all talking about it before, or was he? I couldn't remember if I'm just losing my mind. But isn't it hard to port it to? Yeah, y'all were talking about it before.
Yeah, we were talking about
how it's hard to transfer it over.
Farming.
Okay, you know what? I messed it up.
So the happening, it's the farming. For the win.
I thought it was FTL. They can hear it? Okay, y'all need to stop. I messed it up.
He's like, wait, farming? He can't. English isn't his first language. I mean, it is, but it's not at the same time.
It's not very good English. Not where we grew up. I say y'all too much.
Yeah.
I remember I used to get in trouble in high school because I would type how I talk.
Farming is a famine. Famining is a famine. Gotta work. Up.
You point at me?
Yeah.
Well, which ones? Don't get me wrong. I love all of them. But the God of War. When did the new God of War, the first one, was it 2016?
2016.
See, that messes with me because I keep thinking Doom 2016.
Yeah, they count the same year.
Okay. Yeah. No, I didn't like that one. I didn't like that one that much. Ragnarok was amazing. I ain't gonna lie, it had me crying. And when I say crying, I mean something got my eye. I don't cry. He said koozies? I do love me a koozie, man. On the beer. Koozie good. Oh, he uses that stuff too. Ain't that great? No. What am I thinking of? The remake, or I guess, would you even say remake? Because it's still part of it's still canon.
No, it's reimagining.
I wouldn't say it's reimagining, because if you look at, because they made comics for it, it is canon on how he got there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I saw a thing about the comics. I didn't know the not koozie. Koozie, I think it means cousin.
Oh, he said cuzzy. Well, you
yeah,
know what?
U, not an O, not two O's.
That's not how we spell it.
That's also true. At first I thought it said cuzzle.
To be honest, I don't know how to spell it. I just know how to use it. No, that God of War, like the best part in that is when you go back and you get spoiler warning.
I haven't finished it.
Well, too bad. Have you really not?
No,
Not Ragnarok.
I haven't finished the I have it on PC, but I haven't really.
Bro, you're a couple years late to not finish it.
That's a going trend for me.
Goodness gracious. Ugh.
We're famous.
Ooh. I can see it. The hack and slash combat.
Yeah, we're.
I don't have feeling. I do. I'm lonely. Besides that, no. Castlevania was good. I actually liked the. I think they were for the Xbox 360. No, I'm not a big fan. Are you talking about like the side scroller kind of ones?
Yeah.
No, I didn't like those. I never, growing up as a kid, never really liked that other than like Super Mario or Sonic. Were the only ones I really liked those in.
Yeah.
Because after that, I mean, every single one I seen after that was just kind of boring. But no, I was talking about where they did Lord of Shadows. That was a good one. Yeah, they did like two, like, I think they were for like Xbox 360.
I think they did a remaster for Symphony of Night on.
I think they released them though. To play again, yeah.
No, they might have been Xbox Arcade.
Possibly, I don't remember off the top of my head. But no, that Devil May Cry. I don't like the one where it's like that. Pretty sure it's a young Dante, where he has the short hair.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one. Devil May Cry 3 is hands down my favorite.
Yeah, wasn't that one named something different? It wasn't a numbered one.
I think it was just called Devil May Cry.
Yeah. Yeah, because they made an HD version of it.
Yeah.
Because it came out on PS2 and then they made a
HD. No, I don't think it's 4. Because 4 is when they introduced, what's his face? 3 was fire. It's like, I still remember when he's like facing like basically like Cerberus, the 3-headed dog. Still like one of the funniest things in the opening to that game when he's in his like little place trying to eat his pizza and they all stab him.
Yeah,
he gets so mad.
My Devil May Cry knowledge isn't. I don't really have a lot in it because I haven't really played. I've dabbled in a couple of them. I think.
You still got your PS4, right? Oh yeah, you do. I have them on disc.
Oh.
The first 3.
Okay.
If you ever want to play them.
Yeah, I think I need to tackle Final Fantasy. Or dabbling.
Well, I wouldn't say they're really remakes. They're all original games.
Yeah, they're HD ports.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did with Metal Gear.
4, shoot. Did you play Devil May Cry 5? That's like the big question. Like the newest one that they did.
A little bit.
I can't remember for the life of me the guy you play most of the game. I'm like,
I know exactly what he looks
brain
like.
farting. I know what he looks like because he has like that arm missing and all that.
Since it's a Capcom game, they gave him the Mega Man blaster.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they?
As an arm you could use. The only thing I didn't like about that, like
I'm going to Google.
The little bit that I played of it was the fact that your arms like were like not timed use, but they broke down so fast. You had to constantly change. Which, I mean, it's good. It made you have to change up your play style a little bit, but...
Nero.
It's too frequent. Yeah, Nero. Are you
Nero.
sure?
Yeah, that's Devil May Cry 4 is when they introduced Nero into it. Because you remember in Devil May
Liberty.
I'm messing up too much. No, but in Devil May Cry 4... Yeah. No, so that's the one, if you look right here, I'm going to go back to overview.
Oh, yeah.
That, because he's missing his arm, and then he has, like, the devil form arm, but he's usually keeping it like a sling until, like, everything kicks off.
Gotcha.
But, no, that's when they introduced Nero. Let me see if I can find the one I'm thinking of. Oh,
while he's looking up,
yeah, you can talk about stuff. I gotta find this.
But when they did the Series X, did they do a Series X upgrade for? Yeah, they did, didn't they? For 5.
Hmm?
They did a upscaled version for Series X of Devil May Cry 5. Yeah, because it was called like Special Edition or something like that.
I think. Off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, my bad. He had black hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Was it 3?
I think it's just called
Yeah, it's
Devil May Cry.
Yeah, Devil May Cry, because that's the one I remember seeing Devil May Cry HD on it.
I think it's called. Oh, my bad. It's called DMC, and under it, Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like that one. So, I'm totally getting off topic. All right, where were we?
You're talking about Devil May Cry.
Sorry, I went off on a tangent. But no, Devil May Cry was wonderful as well. But going back to like God of War, the first 3, perfection.
You ever played the PSP games?
Like Ascension.
Ascension was Ascension PSP?
Mm-hmm. It was a handheld, then it got
Ghost
ported.
of Sparta and Chains of Olympus.
Didn't play those. I played Ascension, which was a PSP, and then they ported it to
PS3.
the
PS2. I think it came on PS2 as well.
Ascension? No, I'm pretty sure it didn't. I'm pretty sure it was like PS3. Are you Googling right now?
Yeah, I'm Googling.
Wow, way to do that during the podcast. That's smart. I'm just kidding.
Okay, it was PS3 because I'm now looking.
I'm pretty sure
artwork.
because that one wasn't. That one was okay.
It wasn't on. It was PS.
It was just strictly PS3.
Yes, yeah, because it was a.
I could have swore it was a handheld. Then they moved it. I could have
Well,
sworn.
I know they made HD upscales for Ghost of Sparta and Chains of Olympus for PS3, and then Ascension was like its own game. So yeah, it was yeah, it was the same thing on PS3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you right now that I'm thinking about it, I know the first God of War, so regular God of War, right? It came out around the same time frame as like the release date as Prince of Persia. That's why Prince of Persia wasn't as big as it was. If they would have released at a different time, it would have been a lot bigger than what it was.
Yeah, and look how long it's taken Ubisoft to remaster Sands of Time.
True, but then they're also doing this like
side
side-scrolling game.
That one's already out.
I know. I wouldn't play it personally because one, technically, that I don't think that's the Prince of Persia. And then I tried playing another one when it was on 360, and I'm just like,
yeah, I played a little bit of the one on PS3. I don't remember what the name of that one was, but like
Prince of Persia something.
Yeah, Prince of Persia something something to something.
Oh man, huh? No, but God of War 2 and 3 is probably. And then I definitely remember Ragnarok up there too. Like 3 Ragnarok, then 2.
I have 3 remastered on 4.
Yeah, good games. What other games? What games deserve an actual remake? Simpsons Hit and Run. In my opinion, Simpsons Hit and Run.
You watched the rest of this video?
I skipped to the end. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to watch that video all the way through. I'm like,
wait, if y'all haven't watched it, there's a guy on YouTube named Reubs, Reubs. He literally pretty much by himself, like he had help with like the art and whatnot for it, but he literally pretty much by himself remade Simpsons Hit and Run. Missions, the characters, the world, everything. He actually made it one cohesive open world instead of it being sectioned off into different sections.
Like loading screens.
Yeah.
So it's just one whole map. But I remember he took it from the dude I was talking to you about that redid it and all that stuff. And then I think the publishers of the game told him he had to take it down. Or they would sue him, I'm pretty sure.
It was the rights holder.
Yeah.
Which I think at the time was 20th Century
Is it 20?
Fox.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Fox.
Yeah. Yeah, because Fox is the one that owns the rights to The Simpsons, which is why now it's on Disney Plus. Watch it all on Disney Plus.
Always loved the Treehouse. Treehouse of Horrors. It's like their Halloween specials. I can sit there and just watch all those and be happy.
No, I really want who Pac-Man World got a remaster 2 years ago.
You talking about their like the 25th anniversary or something? You bought the game, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was playing that today.
It's fun, isn't it? Like, it's simple, but it's fun.
It's
like,
simple,
it's like a collectathon.
I remember how much I hated it
Yeah,
the first
I
time.
like 2 and 3 though. Like 2 and 3 were like really good. I remember renting those just on a
do.
whim because I was just like Pac-Man World, what? And got it home. I'm like, a 3D platformer that's Pac-Man, and I thoroughly enjoyed them.
Do you know
Has a Tasmanian tiger?
No, the devil.
You messed it up, and you messed it up the last time we talked about.
Right now you mess it up.
Tiger, and then now you got me.
Yeah, there's too many Taz and too many tigers and devils.
Me.
No. So I remember he had a video game.
Yes. I can remember the cover. I can't remember what it's called.
I love how we're constantly going to the phone to pull it up.
To the Google Mobile. I think I can see.
It's gonna bother me when I know it. Taz won it.
Oh, yep.
Why is it still on Walmart?
Because Walmart is a hub. Walmart.com is a hub now.
Oh, it's not Taz, it's Ty.
It's less than Ty.
Oh man. No, yeah, but Taz had a video game. I loved it.
Oh,
there was also a Woody Woodpecker one too.
Yes, there was.
I love that one too.
I found out why the developers of Ty have been going back and remastering the old games.
They've been remastering it?
Yeah. They remastered 1 and 2, and I think 3 comes out next year.
When?
I don't know, but you can get 1 and 2 on Xbox. They're completely remastered.
Don't play with my heartstrings like that, man.
No, seriously, I've talked about it before. 1 and 2 is already available now.
Bro, you like the Lego games, right?
Yeah.
So I remember playing this game. So you know how I love Lord of the Rings, probably a little too much.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I remember playing it with my grandmother.
There's going to be at least 3 different tangents that he's going to go on about Lord of the Rings.
If not more. I love Lord of the Rings. Speaking of y'all like Lord of the Rings, there's this wonderful YouTube channel. Like, legitimately, it's called The Broken Sword, I'm pretty sure. And it's just dedicated to Lord of the Rings lore and all that. Like, based off characters, the, might as well say enemies. The bad guys, like Sauron's army and all that stuff is wonderful. Wonderful stuff. For me.
I never got to play the PS2 games growing up. I kind of want to get them.
I remember playing the first one.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Yep, I was living in Florida at the time. Way before you met me.
Yeah.
Before I got to grace you with my presence. No. So I remember playing that as a kid. Vividly. It's crazy how like some games are just burned in my memory.
Yeah.
And then other games, like even newer games, I'm like,
what?
I don't remember that. No, I remember playing that one, and then the one I definitely remember playing was the Two Towers, because it still had like scenes on from the movie, and then they tried to do those transitions, and it was so bad with those graphics.
It was like with like Treasure Planet on PS2, they would try to go from the movie scene, and then it'd loading screen and then level, and this is like, bro, it's not even close.
Right? It's like, why are you doing this? It looks worse. And you think they do it, considering it's an animation.
Well, I think what the thing with the PS2 was is that they were actually able to add...
Well, wasn't that PlayStation?
What?
Treasure Planet.
Right there.
No. I'm saying, but they had it. It originally came out on PlayStation.
Yeah, it came out both at the same time.
These life cycles are confusing me.
These life cycles?
Yeah, for the console.
Oh, yeah. Well, on the consoles, a lot of the games, like, overlap.
I remember you told me that the last game that came out was what, like in
2013. It was FIFA 2014.
Yeah.
Because Brazil didn't get the PS2 until like 2 or 3 years after the PS3 came out.
Right, because they were behind.
Yeah. I want to look more into that and figure out like what the logistic were. The only thing I can think of, and we've talked about this before, is that it must have been like some type of, not tariff, but some type of government issue with getting the systems into the country.
It had to be like, I don't want to say, is it tariffs?
Sanctions?
Sanctions. It had to be sanctions.
That's what I'm thinking. But the United States isn't the one that makes Sony's not based in the U.S. They have
Japan.
an office in the U.S.
It's Japan.
I wonder if Brazil and Japan had beef, and that's why they didn't get the console until they.
Government. I just chalk it up to it's their government.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, think about it. A lot of there's games that we find acceptable, like, but other countries are like, oh, that's too violent, or there's, it doesn't go with what we believe. Kind of.
Well, it could also be with the the currency difference too. It might have been too expensive at the time to put it in Brazil because Sony didn't sell. That's the only other thing I can think of.
I mean, it would have sold because what game systems do they have?
I mean, they had the PS1 and
they had the PS1. So I mean, if it sold well over there, would you think they send the PS2?
Well, I'm talking about the currency exchange or like what it went for everywhere else. Because there's some countries where
it could base it off the release date. Because certain games were released at a different time.
Yeah, I know that. What I'm saying though is, I think if anything besides the government thing, I think it was probably just the currency conversion.
Yeah.
Because like 2 years after the PS2 came out, it got a price cut, and then they made it slim. Because I think that's what what Brazil got was the slim. So once the slim came, that's making more sense to me now than the whole government thing. Because you got to think everything over there, like game system wise, is more expensive. The games are more expensive.
Yeah.
Anything video game related is expensive. So if the PS2 was $200 here, it's probably more like $400, $500, $600 their currency down there. It didn't make much sense to put it out there because it wouldn't have sold very many units. And that's saying a lot considering how much of a powerhouse the PS2 was.
Oh man, there's some games that still hold up. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I want to get I have a PS2 to HDMI adapter, but I want to get an actual upscale. So I don't have to emulate. I can literally just play the actual game and just have it upscaled to like 1080p or 4K.
You remember when I first got to Utah and I was staying at the dorm with horrible Wi-Fi, and we were playing. You were playing on like an emulator, and I was playing on an emulator, like on my phone.
Oh yeah,
and we were playing The Grinch.
that game
it was so horrible.
Actually, like it's bad, but it's like good bad.
It's better than the one that they just recently did, because I heard that was horrible.
Well, I think anything that's like geared towards kids, it's like has a massive property attached to it, does not do well. I think that's why the Blueys and the Paw Patrol games go on Game Pass.
Hey, don't talk trash on Bluey.
Bluey's
pretty good show. Yeah. I like it. It teaches me life lessons when I get lost. Okay, SpongeBob didn't do it.
Oh my gosh, so many SpongeBob.
Did they just remastered Battle for Bikini Bottom or something?
Yeah, they did about 2 years ago. It's on Game Pass now, though.
Yeah, no, I think they just added it too.
Yeah, they just added it on there. They need to remaster the SpongeBob SquarePants movie video game.
Oh, no. I remember that. They need to also bring back the Jimmy Neutrons. They made 2 Jimmy Neutron games. No, actually, just bring back the first one.
Night of the Twonkin?
No, Attack of the Twonkies.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say Attack of the Twinkies.
No, it was that one, which was horrible. No, I wanted them to bring back Jet Fusion.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's like the first one that they did.
Well, they had just Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius.
Yeah, but no one cares about that one.
Yeah,
Jeff Fusion's what matters. No, that one was amazing. Bro, do you remember the... oh, man. Oh, the Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules?
Heard it, saw a little bit of gameplay for it, never actually played.
It was such a good game. It was so horrible.
They were all made by THQ.
What happened to them? Did they get...
They got bought out by Nordic. That's why they're called THQ Nordic. And we see what they've been pumping out. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the fact I can't think of a single game they've made recently, I think that says enough.
That's the truth.
Actually, they're owned by that one publisher's been buying up a bunch of different publishers. Oh, what is the name of that? I can't remember the name of the publisher.
I can't think. I don't know. You know publishers. I don't. I just okay.
I gotta look it up because if I don't, it's gonna aggravate the crap out of me.
Please don't let it aggravate you. I don't.
What is the?
What are you looking up?
Who owns THQ Nordic? Oh wait, Embracer Group. They bought up them. They actually recently sold Gearbox, the ones that make Borderlands, and they also own developer of the newer Tomb Raider franchise.
Those weren't bad.
Yeah, no, they weren't. And then I don't even want to get into the new one they're making.
Okay, so you know how we both like the Uncharted series, right? I can play the fourth one, A Thief's End, over and over again. I tried to go back and force myself through the first three, and I just couldn't do it.
Well, see, I've never played through those. I was like, okay, I want to know more of the story, but it's like when you start with the best one, it's kind of hard to go back to decent. But
they weren't bad. They weren't bad.
Well, just the scale of 4 and just the environment and the story. Like I've played that game twice.
Okay, so I can tell you right now, I don't like the combat.
Yeah, very clunky.
The
shooting,
the jumping,
and the moving, especially if you're driving a vehicle, very clunky.
Mm-hmm. I hated the jet ski in the third one.
Second one.
Was it second?
Where you're going through like Rome or like
no, you're in like a flooded
like ruins.
Yeah, it's a flooded ruin.
Yeah, it's
that you're on. I can't tell you how many times I died on that. Way too many times.
Same, because there's like
the rocket launchers.
The
rocket. I thought it was rocket launchers.
I think it was a combination. There was like
I can't remember off the top of my head.
barrels. There was some type of barrels or something in the water you had to avoid too.
And you know what? We might have difference of opinion, but don't even get me started on that horrible movie that they called Uncharted.
I actually didn't think it was that bad, but
whoa, there better be a big butt in there.
There's a big butt.
Now that I think about it, yeah, okay.
But
what?
I didn't like how young they tried to make Sully. I mean, I was kind of okay with them making Nathan Drake younger, but they went too young with Sully. Like, Mark Wahlberg's a great actor, and I think he did a decent job with what he was given, but was he the right choice for the role? No.
I wouldn't even say really wannabe Spider-Man was either. He's not.
Honestly, I'm just tired of seeing him everywhere. Kind of like how they've been doing with John Cena. Tired of seeing him.
John Cena don't bother. I can't see him. It doesn't bother me. No, John Cena actually did, going off on a little tangent, he did amazing in Peacemaker. But unfortunately, we won't get another Peacemaker until this new Superman movie comes out. Because James Gunn was the one.
Gunn's ruining it? Because
no, he's not ruining it. So he's probably Superman.
He's rebooting the whole DC universe.
Well, he's keeping Peacemaker as the show.
That's weird because he's literally going everything else.
Well, it's pointless in scrapping a show that did so well.
Yeah, at that point you're nitpicking. It's like, okay, you're gonna keep this, but you're gonna get rid of this. This has.
I don't blame him. Like Ezra Miller, not the Flash. They should have brought Grant Gustin in.
That's
Fun fact, you know he's from Virginia? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's Norfolk.
I think that's where most of the famous people come from.
Sandra Bullock's also from Virginia. That Vincent, you remember Men in Black?
Yeah.
Remember the dude who got taken over by the big cockroach? Pulled his skin back.
Yeah.
Here's this better.
Yeah,
He's from Virginia.
Yeah, I knew that.
I gotta look it up. He is from Norfolk.
Oh.
And he's only a couple years older than us, too.
Dang.
He's 34.
Well, here we are, 29, starting a podcast.
Well, hey, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about our age. I'm old. But,
yeah, I think, like, there's just so much we can't cover all in one podcast.
I sure as heck can try. I will try. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the whole jumping around. And that's all I got. No, I mean, I love talking about video games. Especially, it's my childhood. Something that
anything was possible.
When I still had hopes and dreams and didn't have to work a full-time job. That was a great part. I didn't have to pay bills.
Yeah.
That was also very nice. I didn't even have to buy the games.
Yeah.
And the money I did get, I didn't earn it. Christmas and birthdays. That's how I got my games.
That's what we look
or you guilt trip a parent or a grandparent.
I used to guilt trip them for crappy games. Like, oh, it's on clearance at Kmart. It's $10. That's how I ended up getting Television Lives. That's how I even found that television existed.
But before we end up wrapping this up, one thing I do think we should touch on is Kingdom Hearts 4. What worlds do you think are going to be in it? What worlds do you think should go in it, and what worlds should go?
I'm going to call it right now. They're going to expand. So I think they're going to get away from the Pixar world. I think they're going to start going into
the DreamWorks. I went Treasure Planet.
DreamWorks isn't Disney. Treasure Planet's a Pixar movie.
People can have dreams. See why I miss being a kid? Things were simple. Wasn't all this business talk.
I think they're going to get away from the Pixar.
You think they're going to get away from like Woody and all them? Why?
Well, I mean, it looks like the world that Sora's in now looks more realistic. I think they're going to lean more into the Marvel and the Star Wars properties.
You notice in the third one, they kind of got away from, in my opinion, it felt like they got away from, like, Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I kind of liked the Final Fantasy characters in it.
I
remember Squall, and I remember in the first one, I think that's the only one you ever seen Cloud in. It was like a secret boss at the very end of the game if you went back.
Well, he wasn't a secret boss.
I didn't know until I was an adult.
You're thinking of Sephiroth.
He wasn't in.
He's the final boss of the Hang.
You're right. Yeah. You face Cloud like in a couple matches.
Yeah, you literally he's in a cutscene because Hercules has to save him from Cerberus.
That's how
he ended up fighting Cerberus.
It wasn't he easier than Sephiroth or harder than Sephiroth?
No. No.
Sephiroth has a reach on the blade, man. I still remember when they dropped him in, real quick, little tangent. You remember when they announced that he was coming in to, they were releasing him in Super Smash? Smash Bros?
Sephiroth?
Yeah. Remember they released him, and then I think the one after, or a couple after, then it was Sora. Yeah. The Super Smash?
Cloud was already...
No, not Cloud. I said Sephiroth.
I don't think Sephiroth is in...
90% sure. Hey, you know what? This is why I love Google.
I know they put the two characters from Castlevania into...
One of the Belmonts? I thought they only put... Is it both?
Yeah. Pretty sure Sephiroth is...
Sephiroth appears as a newcomer in Super Smash Bros.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Smash Bros. And then it ends that with a period, and then it goes into Ultimate, comma, with his inclusion being announced during the Game Awards 2020 on December 10th, 2020.
Okay, yes.
He's a DLC character.
I think he was the first of the last.
Yeah.
They did 2 DLC runs for Ultimate. He was the first one, and then
Thor was the last.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but I think they definitely need to get away from Hercules. Let's not go back to Atlantis.
I was so disappointed there wasn't no Halloween Town. That one.
I was very disappointed. Get away from Frozen. Tangled.
Frozen wasn't that the level.
I didn't like Frozen. I liked the Tangled one. Tangled wasn't bad.
Yeah, Tangled wasn't bad.
I definitely loved Big Hero 6 though.
Yes, I want more Big Hero.
That was a blast. But I can see why they wouldn't go back to those because it's small worlds.
It started, it had a start point, it had an end point, and then once you were done, that was it.
Like a game like that, I don't mind the slight exploring.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be so overwhelming because nowadays, Toy Story felt overwhelming because you got shrunk down, so it felt a lot bigger.
Well, no, not just that. Like, it was cool to see Andy's room.
Yeah.
Modern graphic style, but I just felt like that ball was just way too big.
I didn't like if where you could like phase or like what I'm talking about, where you lock on and you could basically dash to it.
Yeah.
Hyper dash. No, I'm pretty sure it's called hyper dash.
It's called like something mode.
Hyper lock. It had to be. It was hyper something. I'm pretty, or maybe I'm thinking the Keyblade, the hyper hammer. No, that though. But you had the knobs on like the certain levels, like the. Oh, I hated those stuffed animals though, in that level too.
Oh, yeah.
Felt like I kept fighting them forever.
I'm gonna find the name of this. So it was attraction, flow something. What?
Hyperflow?
It might have been it.
Hyperflow sounds like a pretty cool thing.
I can't.
You know what would be cool to see though?
What?
So you remember at the end of the third one, right? Where you faced what's his name?
In what?
In March 3.
Ansem.
What's an Ansem?
Or
Xehanort. Oh, Xehanort. I knew I'd get it eventually. Xehanort. Yeah, no.
Flow motion. Never used it.
Didn't like it
because I couldn't figure it out.
I left stuff the way it was, but basically I didn't need anything. I wasn't a big fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean one.
I thought the world looked amazing.
It looked amazing, but the riding the ship and all that, it was just kind of.
Oh yeah, the ship. I didn't like the ship. All that. There were so many of the hidden Mickey faces that were tied to actually.
It was actually pretty easy. That only took me about 10, 15 minutes.
See, but for me, Pirates of the Caribbean was the last world I had to go to get enough because I played it on medium.
Oh, I played it on hard. That was not fun. No. I can't tell you how many times I almost died. No, actually, I did die a couple times as Xehanort. But I had, like, one of those... I was playing on
Xehanort?
On the hardest difficulty?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're talking about the mini-boss fight before that fight? That fight, I've died so many times on medium.
I'm trying to think.
It's where you had all the different...
like Xehanort's fighting you?
Yeah. And that white...
No, I didn't struggle with that one.
It took me a while to beat that.
So, don't get me wrong, they were kicking my butt really good. But the biggest thing is, at that point, I already collected flying, right?
Well, yeah, there's an end game.
Yeah, but Oh, yeah, I went into that fight, I'm pretty sure, with the Ultima Keyblade. I can't remember. I said I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
No, you can't do it until you have to beat it.
Yeah.
Which I don't like. I'm like, let me unlock it before so I can kind of kick his butt.
Kingdom Hearts 3 has New Game Plus. Or does it?
It doesn't. So it doesn't have New Game Plus. Yeah, you're messing with my mind. Look it up. That's what we need to know. New Game Plus. I feel like it does.
So it basically on the main menu you get a new game. It'll ask you for share of your.
Yeah. No, I did do that. But here's the problem, though. If you do that, right? Let's say you didn't collect everything, and you accidentally hit yes, no, not just that. It wipes the other game that you played. So let's say you messed up and accidentally clicked yes. All that work. Let's say you had collected everything, and you're like, all right, I'm done for the night. You were to come back a couple days later, click into it. Oh yeah, start a new game or whatever, or you just mess up, right? Yeah. And you were to start that new game and carry everything over, and you weren't thinking, or you just clicking.
Save file and
no, it deletes the old save file, so that's everything. Yeah. Then everything gone. But luckily, I had the Ultimate Keyblade. But you know what makes you mad? What? That doesn't carry over. The Ultimate Keyblade does not carry over.
All the other Keyblades do, but the Ultimate doesn't. Makes sense, though.
Here's the reason why. You can't unlock that until you beat the game. Which I'm like, why'd I do all that just to do it again? You remember how I was telling you about the gummy ship? I didn't learn how to do it and upgrade it. So I had to fight. You remember like that big ship at like the end of the world? Like where you end up facing Xehanort?
If it was optional, I didn't.
It's the one where that's how you got the Ultimate Keyblade. You had to destroy like all 5 or 7 of those things. Nope, you never got the Ultimate?
Nope.
I remember you were going for it when we first started playing it. When it came out, you said you were going for it.
I think so. But then, like, I wasn't really a fan of the gummy combat. I mean, it was nice and different.
It didn't bother me.
Oh, it didn't bother me. It just
you can avoid most of the stuff until you needed to collect certain collectibles, which you could only do by doing that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember the shard. It was like Adamite or something like that. Yeah. Then, then you had to fly around and do those. But the one I hated doing were those, like the food.
All the recipes with Remy?
No. I didn't mind that. That was easy. You do it once, you didn't really have to do it again.
I think you had to make. Well, you had to make.
You had to make it the first time once you learned the recipe. Then it made it.
Yeah, but you had to make each one of them.
Yeah, that wasn't too difficult. But what I hated was if you messed up, you kept running out of ingredients.
Yeah.
No, it's like the Heartless that pop up, like their heads in the ground. One's like an orange, a strawberry. Yeah, you had to do certain like special things to do it.
Yeah, was it part of the cooking though?
There was no cooking. These were like little like mini games in a way.
100 Acre Wood?
100 Acre Woods. It was something else. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I've only played through it once, but I think that's
I think that is a wrap for the day.
It's a good stopping point. We thank all y'all for tuning in and watching the first
Appreciate
episode.
it. Hopefully we weren't too boring and get off topic too much, because I feel like we jumped around a lot on that one.
It's an ADHD.
Yeah, I got it back.
But again, we thank y'all for watching the first episode.
It's been a pleasure.
Missed anything? Next day or two, once we officially going.
Yeah, that's gonna take a minute. We can make it into an every Monday thing.
We're gonna get once they're up on Twitch for 24 hours. We'll get them ported over to YouTube.
Yeah. Eventually. I mean, we got a cool logo.
Yeah, we'll have to show it off once we finalize on it and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely.
But expect to see a lot more content. Not just the podcast either. We're going to have YouTube content. We haven't really
We're still working out, ironing out the details on that one.
Because this was an impromptu. We weren't planning on doing this. It was kind of a last minute. Hey, you know what? We're doing it.
I mean, I definitely want to do the whole like reaction to like trailers and all that.
Yeah.
Even do gameplay.
Yeah.
That would be fun without spoilers.
Yeah.
Because I hate people on YouTube that will put up it's a spoiler in like the little like thumbnail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, why? Why would you do that? I wanted to play the game.
Yeah, we're gonna do trailers and other stuff. We haven't really
Find some stuff on YouTube and watch the videos.
Random, like react to random.
Car crashes would be fun, or people falling. That's always a fun one.
Yeah, I feel like too. But we have a lot of content in the pipeline that we're gonna make for the
definitely
YouTube channel.
ironing out.
The podcast will be on Twitch. It'll be exclusively live on Twitch, and then it'll go to YouTube the following night after the podcast is live on Twitch.
I think we definitely, the next one that we do, we'll drop the handle in like the description.
Yeah, we'll drop the handle for.
Well, and then also the Twitch. Because aren't we going to make its own Twitch? Okay.
No, I thought we were just going to do YouTube, do it live on here since I have it all. Because I can't do a completely different setup for a different account.
Not with that attitude.
Oh, you want to spend $1,500 on a computer? Go for it. We'll set it up on your PC.
Go fund me.
Yeah, again, thank you all for watching this. We really enjoy doing this, and thank you for
sticking around.
An audience to do this for. So that's gonna be it for us tonight. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good night. Catch y'all next week. I can freeze for only so long.